Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Storytime with Kate Meszaros. And today I'm going to be sharing a Thanksgiving classic, Arthur's Thanksgiving by Mark Brown. If you're an Arthur fan, I'm sure you're going to love this one. So please feel free to share it with family and friends. And welcome to all our new subscribers. We're so happy to have you join us. So let's enjoy this one together. Arthur's Thanksgiving, written and illustrated by Mark Brown. When I used to read Mark Brown books to my first graders, we would look in the pictures and see if we could find the names of his children. So we're going to be looking in this book as well to see if we can find them. So let's read this one together. Arthur's class was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Mr. Ratburn was about to announce the director for the Thanksgiving play, The Big Turkey Hunt. Arthur chewed his pencil. I sure hope he picks me, whispered Francine. They all held their breath. I've chosen Arthur to direct the play, said Mr. Ratburn. He handed Arthur the script. Look at Arthur's face. How do you think he feels? His eyes are really big. Maybe he's a little shocked. Me, the director, said Arthur. Oh no, grumbled Francine. This is going to be a disaster. Francine's not very polite, is she? She needs to learn how to filter her thoughts. Arthur's first job as director was to assign parts. The narrator would have the most say, but the turkey, the symbol of Thanksgiving, had the most important role of all. Secretly, Arthur was glad he wouldn't have to be the turkey. But who would play that part? At lunch, Francine gave Arthur 2 chocolate cupcakes. She wanted to be the narrator. Buster even let Arthur borrow his Captain Zoom spaceman. He wanted to be Governor William Bradford. Being the director sounded like fun. Do you know what those kids are doing? They're trying to bribe him. The word bribe means I'll give you something if you let me have what I want. I don't know if that, I mean, he might think that's fun because he gets stuff, but I don't know if that's fair. What do you think? Do you think that it's fair to bribe people? I don't. I think that the best person should get the job. Let's see what these folks say. Arthur thought Francine would make a good turkey. Never, said Francine. I want to be the narrator. Besides, I have the loudest voice. No doubt about that. Francine would be the narrator. Arthur showed Muffy a drawing of the turkey costume. Lots of feathers, said Arthur. It's a very glamorous role. Yuck, von atrocious, squealed Muffy. I should be the Indian princess. I have real braids. Brain, I've saved the most intelligent part for you, explained Arthur. No way will I be the turkey, answered the brain. I will be the Indian chief. Buster, you're my best friend, began Arthur. Your part is real easy. Only one line, and it's the best in the play. I want to be Governor Bradford, said Buster. Arthur was so desperate that he asked Binky Barnes. The turkey is a strong and powerful animal, argued Arthur. Yeah, without saying a word, it can make you look like a fool in front of the entire school, said Binky. The play was only 6 days away. Where would Arthur find a turkey? Speaking of turkeys, you can't really see this. I'll move the camera down. There are my little turkeys. They are rustling around. The one with the white spot on his belly is Leo, and the other one is Danny. So you might hear them playing in the background a little bit. They like story time too. Arthur knew he could count on his family. I'd love to be the turkey, said his father, but I have a dentist appointment that I don't want to miss. The world is full of turkeys, joked his mother. You should be able to find one. I wouldn't be caught dead in that outfit, said his sister D.W. No, I don't know about that. Would you want to be a turkey at Thanksgiving? We never had a turkey in our Thanksgiving. We had a Thanksgiving play when I taught first grade, but there wasn't a turkey part. So here he is at school doing the announcement. He says, let's talk turkey, said Arthur over the PA system at school. The best part of the Thanksgiving play is still open. If you're interested, please come to the office at once. No one came to the office. In fact, the principal left the office laughing. Arthur put posters in the cafeteria. He placed ads in the school paper, but nothing worked. What do you think he's going to do if nobody wants to be the turkey? To find out how he solves this problem. Arthur had other problems too. Muffy complained about everything. I should be narrator. My parents are paying for the cast party, she whined. Francine would not take off her movie star sunglasses. They're good luck, she explained, but she was having a hard time seeing what she was doing. Buster couldn't remember his lines. In 1620, he recited, we sailed to America on the cauliflower. That's not right. Cauliflower is something you eat. Do you know the name of the ship that the Pilgrims sailed on? We always used to joke in my class. How does it say? If the Mayflower bought, how did it go? I forget the joke, but it's the Mayflower, right? Oh yeah, if April showers bring Mayflowers, what do Mayflowers bring? Pilgrims. Sorry, I messed that joke up. Maybe I should be the turkey. What do you think? The rehearsals went from bad to worse. When the Pilgrims and Indians decided to celebrate their friendship, said Francine, they began to hunt for a turkey. We cooked beans and pumpkin pies, whispered Sue Ellen, and the Pilgrim men went off to hunt for a turkey. We made cornbread and picked cranberries, said Muffy. Oops! And the Indian braves went on their own turkey hunt. Look, she spilled all the cranberries on the floor. When it was time for Francine to present the turkey, then it was time for Francine to present the turkey. When the Indians and Pilgrims finally found a turkey, she began, there was a great rejoicing. Today, when we think of Thanksgiving, we think of turkey. And she glared at Arthur. Don't worry, Arthur promised. I told you I'd find a turkey in time. There's the name Tucker. That's one of Mark Brown's boys is Tucker. There's his name. At the last resort, Arthur decided to rent a turkey, but it wasn't such a good idea. If you don't get a turkey by tomorrow's performance, said Francine, I quit. Everyone agreed. No turkey, no play. Arthur went home to think. He thought about turkeys while he did arithmetic. He thought about turkeys while he played the piano. And he thought about turkeys while he and DW did the dishes. Boy, said DW, if you want something done right, you're going to have to do it yourself. But Arthur's thinking about that. The next morning, Francine, Muffy, and Buster stood before Arthur. They weren't taking any chances. Do we have a turkey? They asked. Arthur just smiled. The whole school filed into the auditorium. Ooh, said the kids when the lights went out. Shh, said the teachers as the curtain went up. In 1620, we sailed to America on the Mayflower, recited Buster proudly. Whew, said Arthur. The play continued smoothly. Muffy didn't drop the cranberries. The brain had his costume on correctly. Sue Ellen said her lines in a loud, clear voice, and Francine had even taken off her movie star sunglasses. Then it came time for Francine's big speech. She crossed her fingers and began. When the Indians and Pilgrims finally found a turkey, there was great rejoicing. Today, when we think of Thanksgiving, we think of turkey. There was a lot of fumbling behind the curtain. Arthur took a deep breath. And he walked on stage. As soon as he did, the audience began to laugh. Arthur turned bright red. Maybe he was embarrassed. This was going to be even worse than he thought it would be. The turkey, Arthur began, is a symbol of togetherness and Thanksgiving, said a chorus of voices behind him. Arthur turned around and smiled. I guess Mom was right. The world is full of turkeys. All together now. Let's say the last line loud and clear. Look at all those. His mom and dad. They all dressed up like turkeys. I love it. Happy Thanksgiving. Isn't that wonderful? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So when I was reading through this, we found Tucker's name. Let me skim back here. We found Tucker's name on the paint, but there should be Tolan, and I think his daughter's name is Ella or Emma. It starts with an E. Let me skim back so we can find them maybe. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe you'll have to check this book out at your local library and see if you can find it. But let me skim very quickly and see if I can find them. My cats are saying it's time for our lunch. They like to eat turkey too. There's Tolan's name. Tolan's name is in the paper right here on this page. And let's see if we can find his daughter's name. Keep looking here. Let's see, let's see, let's see. She might be a mystery to me. You'll have to check it out. It's kind of like looking at a Where's Waldo book to see if we can find her name. And I cannot find it. So check this book out at your local library. I'm going to put a link to the Toledo Lucas County Public Library in the description below, and maybe you can find it and then email me and let me know where it is. You can find all of my website information at katemeszaros.com. You can send me a message through my website if you have any comments or suggestions for another Storytime book. So until I see you the next time, have a wonderful Thanksgiving celebration, everybody. Take care.